We are almost there. So now, what system or software can you use today to become 10 times more competent? Let's go. This program is called Todoist. There's a free version of the program, but I am using the one that is paid. I do not have any affiliations with this program, and I am not trying to promote it, but out of all the ones that I have tried, in this particular case, this is the best one that I could find. So I created a project called Hello Udemy. And the reason I did this was simply to show you how the program looks when it's completely empty. Now, if you get this, all of your tasks will go directly into Inbox unless you choose to put them into a different project or folder, as you can see over here. So let's create a simple task. Hello Udemy, right? And let's say, take out the trash, right? So this program is already inside of Hello Udemy, but we can choose to put it anywhere else, all right? On the labels, I'm going to show you that later, and then we can put a reminder, we can prioritize it, say how important it is, and then we can also schedule it, but we can type in directly, for example, today, and that's it. And now this task is being created with priority 3 to take out the trash today. Now, how does this thing look when it comes to work? Well, let's take a look at whatever is left from my Todoist from work. So I have over here 5 different tasks, okay? And you can see that they are tagged depending on who asked me to do this thing. So the first thing that I told you was that it was important to learn how to categorize things. So whenever somebody asks you to do something, you can use an application like this in order to categorize it. So as soon as somebody tells you, please do this or do that, you enter a new task and you begin by writing what the action is. So whether it is to write or to enter, modify, whatever it is, the first word should be an action step. The second thing to do would be, the second thing to write would be what the thing is, you know, whether it's a purchase order or whether it's a travel expense or whatever it is, all right? And then you should put something else that's relevant. For example, the name of the client. In this case, Huawei, right? And then we click Add Task, right? So in this case, we can go back to it and say, okay, maybe Steffi was the one that asks us to do this thing, and maybe we cannot do it right now because we need to wait after a certain person comes back from lunch. And so we'll say schedule, and we'll say today, 14 p.m. Click enter, and there you go. Now, let's suppose, because this is a really cool function, that you get something like investigate Alexa's from Amazon capabilities. And the person that asked you to do this was your boss, and they asked you to do it today, and the priority is top priority, right? So now you could take this thing and you could also move it to the top if you want, or you could even go over here to the filters and you could say, show me everything that is priority 1, and it'll show you that, right? Now let's go back to our project. Let's go here, and let's suppose that there's some more information that we want to store within this note. We can click on comment, and over here we can write anything we want. So for example, let's suppose that there is an email that's important that is related to this task. So you click here, add comments via email, and you go copy clipboard, and then you open the email that is related to this action that was maybe sent to you by your boss, and you are going to forward, okay? You are going to forward this email to what you copied on your clipboard, and you're going to click send. And look at what is about to happen. I think you heard the sound, the swoosh, Now we just wait a little bit. We close this window and hello. Here's the copy of the email. Now, if the email had anything attached to it, you would see the items here because you can also drag and drop anything on it. So if we click now here, we can read the email. How amazing is that? Now, there's a really good thing also about this application, and it is the fact that when you go to Quick Find, right, to look at your tasks, let's suppose that we go, I don't know, let's search for anything. This one. One second. Here, I'm sorry, it's here. So you go to this tab over here. This one shows you how many completed tasks I have since I started to work here. This would be mostly for the last 2.5 months. So if I click on view all of the completed tasks, I can show whoever I am working for, and I can also check back everything that I have done. So I have a complete track record of all of the things that I have done and for whom I have done it and when they were finished. And that, my friend, is a very good thing to have if you're trying to be competent. What else do I use this for? Well, I have certain lists here, which I cannot show you because they will be private. But for example, if I have questions to ask, this one I can show you. Instead of asking the person that I am working with a question every time that I don't know something, I go here and I write down the question that I have. And then once that person is free, I ask them everything at once. If there's something that, for example, let's suppose that there's something important that I missed, or not that I missed it because I simply didn't know that, but this is something important. I have a folder called Take Note where I write those little things, those little details that I want to check every day, every morning to remind myself, be careful with that particular thing. I also have a list of all the freelancers that are working for me. I have a list of all the projects and the names and the codes so that I have all that information at hand. And so an application like this is extremely, extremely useful. And I must say that I would not be able to do the job that I am doing right now if I didn't have a piece of software that could help me categorize and prioritize my actions in such a clean way. And also, this is something that you can use on your cell phone, on your smartphone, to input tasks, to take pictures, to do anything you want and keep everything at hand and always know what's going on. And this is how you become competent. Okay, so this is what happens and you already know about it. You're in the middle of a task and somebody comes at you and they interrupt you. What do? Well, two things. First of all, to not forget what you were doing. And how do you not forget what you were doing? You have it all on a list where you can constantly see it. Because if you do not have this list and somebody interrupts you, while you make the mental effort to not forget what you were doing, you are now not listening to what this person is asking of you. Big mistake, because then you're going to have to go back and ask again, or not ask and make a mistake. Don't do that. So you keep everything here on your to-do list or on any other similar program that you feel like using. That's up to you. Second, you stop what you are doing and you write down what this person is asking of you. What does it need to be done, for whom, and when does it need to be ready? Make sure you understand those three things. You enter that into your list and then you're done. After that, you check your priorities and you choose the first one to do first and then all of the others. Please do not use Post-it notes. That's a terrible thing to work. Post-it notes, just don't get into the habit of using them because they are not scalable. Like you cannot have 10, 15 Post-it notes on your computer because what they will do is just make you more anxious and clutter your entire mind. So please don't do that.